Hello friends, welcome back to another video on the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Fran and today I am doing a blue ink exploration video. And what that means basically is I'm taking all of the blue inks that I have, whether they are sample vials or bottled inks, and I am swatching all of them that I would consider to be in the blue color family. And I'm doing this because one, I haven't done an ink exploration in a really long time, and second, I want to do this because I am going to the San Francisco Pen Show. I am also traveling to Japan, and I wanted to record this video to know like what bottles of ink do I have, and are there any samples of ink that I have that I want to buy a bottle of, so that way it kind of helps me control my urges when I'm stationary shopping in these other places. All right, so we're gonna start off with bottled inks, and this first one is the most non-blue blue that I own, and this first ink is a Robert Oster ink. It is a collaboration ink with Yoseka Stationery in New York, and this one is called Confetti Blue, which is why I'm swatching it, because blue is in the ink color name. And this was a special collaboration ink that they did for their Stationery Fest in 2024. I did not go to the Stationery Fest, but they did have the inks available to them, and that's why I bought it. This next ink is another special collaboration ink. This is Colorverse and the San Francisco Pen Show. This was the exclusive Pen Show ink that released in 2024. And so I really like this one. There's no shimmer, but it's just a nice blue. Oh, and the name of that ink is San Francisco Bay. All right. The third bottle of ink we are swatching here is from Ink Institute. Ink Institute. And this one is called Shuiyang Forest. This is a nice blue, and it's like a bluish purple. Like when you look at how the shading dries out, I do a little close up towards the end. This is a bottle of ink that I bought when I visited Yoseka Stationery last fall while we were in New York. All right, the fourth and final bottled ink that we're going to be swatching here is Diamine Indigo. This is a recent bottle of ink that I purchased. I want to say I got it from Jet Pens. See, when you can't remember where you buy your ink, it might be a sign that there's a problem. But anyways, I really liked this indigo color. I also feel like buying Diamine ink is nice because the bottles are not too big and they're not too expensive, so I feel like it's very low risks to be able, or low stakes to commit to a Diamine ink bottle. So really love that indigo. And then we're moving on to samples. The first ink sample was Diamine One More Sleep. It's another blurple in my opinion. A lot more indigo, but there's a lot of purple in that one as well. All right, this next one is Wearing Gold Dorothy, which I believe I've actually bought a bottle of this ink since I've swatched. So obviously I am recording and posting this video later than I wanted to, but still wanted to share. All right, so that's Wearing Gold Dorothy. Next, we have an ink sample I got from Journal with Jazz. I super fangirl her channel, but she sent me some ink samples. This one that I'm swatching here is a Hachimonjia ink called Snow Ginzen Gray, and this is a matching ink with a pen that Hachimonjia also has called Snow Ginzen Gray as well. I do not have the pen, but this is a nice like grayish dusty blue. I have yet to use it in a pen because it's such a pretty ink and I'm scared to run out of it, but hopefully I'll use it soon. This next ink sample is probably the next bottle of ink I'm going to purchase. This is Nagasawa Kobe number 81. It's Fuke Urban Blue. I've used this pen or this ink a lot this year in a couple of different pens, and I just really love how wet Nagasawa Kobe inks are, and I think if I'm going to focus on bottles of ink, it will probably be this brand will be one of those brands that I have a lot of bottles of eventually. All right, next, also a Nagasawa Kobe ink. This is number 79, Tamon Kakitsubata. This is a sample I got from Yoseka. I wanted to explore some of the Nagasawa Kobe inks, so that's why I picked this one up. Next, still in the Nagasawa Kobe family, this is number 77, Roko Himalayan Blue. This is like a very true blue, if you were to ask me. Kind of reminds me of Pilot Iroshizuku. I always forget the name of the ink because I no longer have it in my ink sample collection, so I can't even tell you, but it does remind me of a Pilot ink. All right, next we are moving on to Sailor Ink Studio. This one is number 240. This one reminds me a lot of Diamine Indigo, so I feel like they share a lot of the same shade of blue. But yeah, I also really like Sailor inks. I like using this Sailor ink in Sailor pens specifically. Next, we've got Pilot Iroshizuku Shinkai. I can't remember when I got this, but I wanted again to play with wetter inks, and I know Pilot Iroshizuku is well known for being a wet ink, so I will definitely have to try this ink in a pen maybe this winter. Second to last today, we've got Kakimori Karari. I actually got this one recently in a sampler set from Endless Pens. So that's a nice bright blue or classic blue, if you will. And then the final ink swatch for today is going to be Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukio. This is one of my first Pilot ink samples. And generally an overall fave. So let's get these inks dried so we can do a nice little close-up. We're not fully dried yet. You could see I've smudged a couple, but I just wanted to give a closer look to you all, especially under the light. I think definitely one thing to note is that I am filming under the artificial light of my desk lamp, so it might not be completely true to color if you were to just be like journaling in natural light, but I really like the variations of blue that I have here. I definitely lean towards like an indigo, a dusty blue, a blurple, but I'll definitely have to challenge myself soon with some of these brighter blues. All right, friends, let me know which blue is your favorite, or if you have a favorite blue ink that is not in this video. I'd love to hear from you. I will see you soon, friends. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye.